The most important thing that people want is they want peace of mind. If you have an outstanding tax debt and you're not in any type of resolution, you can't sleep at night because you're worrying about wage garnishment, bank levies. We give you a plan that you're gonna feel safe, you're gonna be able to sleep at night. I call it our peace of mind tax resolution process. We're always looking for the taxpayer to pay the least amount of money. So we start with a free consultation, and I'll go through the person's situation, what they owe, what their financial situation is, anything else that we think we need. I want to get to the bottom of the problem and see what is the problem, what caused it, and how can we resolve it. I've dealt with thousands of cases with the IRS, so it's very rare that there's something that I'm not going to know how to handle, and I can diagnose the problem and come up with a solution in that consultation. So a lot of times if you're talking to someone that's less experienced or they don't do this all the time, what they'll say is, let me call the IRS and see what's happening and then I'll get back to you. I don't need to do that. I can diagnose the problem right away. As long as the person's being honest and truthful with me, I can figure out what's happening. And at the end of that initial consultation, I will come up with an actionable plan. I'll say we can do X, Y, Z, we'll give a price, and then immediately after that, the next thing is I get a signed power of attorney so I can call the IRS that day. Because the first thing I want to do is I want to try to get a hold on their account to make sure no collections happens. I want to make sure we have all the accurate information and start monitoring their account immediately. Once we sign up, we're going to do an investigation into their IRS account. So we want to see exactly what they owe, what years, get all their transcripts. We want to see if there's any open investigations that they're unaware of. We've had that before. People didn't even realize that they were under audit or there was a problem with another year. Then, depending on what we're doing, we may need to get financials from the client, we may need to get some tax returns filed. We'll work on doing that, and then we'll submit a settlement, payment plan, penalty abatement, whatever it is. And we'll also talk about what they need to do going forward for their current year taxes. Do they need to make estimated tax payments? Is there any tax planning we can do? What about their spending or how they're managing their business so that this problem doesn't happen again? And that's it. The person doesn't have to talk to the IRS. We handle all communications. The IRS is very slow. I would say the average amount of time, for a case is 6 to 8 months. Sometimes longer, sometimes less, depending on what you're doing. What happens is we are preparing the documents to submit, and then we're monitoring the person's account through the whole process to make sure collections don't happen, no bank levies, wage garnishments, etc. Because the IRS is so understaffed and sometimes very unorganized, we're seeing more and more people have issues getting notices and letters that could jeopardize their settlements. So what we do is we have a client monitoring program where we keep our power of attorney on file and we monitor their accounts so that we get any letters or we get alerts if there's anything happening on their account so they can stay in compliance and have no problems with the IRS.